Welcome to Math 154 videos. This video is going to cover the product rule, which I have written here. If we have two functions f and g multiplied together and we want to take their derivative, we do g times the derivative of f plus f times the derivative of g. Now, we could switch these two around if we wanted to, but it doesn't really matter because we're adding them together. So in this case, the order is not so important so much as that you get both of those two blocks in there. So here we have this function h of x is equal to e to the x times x to the fifth plus 3x. And if you notice, this is two functions multiplied together. So if we want to take its derivative, we need to use the product rule. So we can label these two functions f and g, and our f is going to be our e to the x, and then let's see, what's it multiplied? It's multiplied by x to the fifth plus 3x, so that's going to be our g, and we're going to need f prime. So the derivative of e to the x is just e to the x, and we're going to need g prime. So the derivative of g here, by the power rule, we're going to get 5 times x. 5 minus 1 is 4. So we get 5x to the fourth, and then plus a 3. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and apply our product rule. So first we're going to do g times f prime. So our h prime of x equals g times f prime, which is these two here. So x to the fifth plus 3x times e to the x, and then we're going to add to it our f times g prime, which is these two. So our f is e to the x, and then our g prime is 5x to the fourth plus a 3. Now if we wanted to, we could take out an e to the x from both of these, so let's go ahead and do that. So h prime of x is equal to e to the x times x to the fifth plus 3x plus 5x to the fourth plus 3. And it's probably better if we write those in order of decreasing power. So e to the x times x to the fifth plus 5x to the fourth plus 3x plus 3. So that sort of simplifies our answer down all the way. And there you have it. So here's our second example, and for this one you'll notice we have two functions multiplied together, and we can call this first one here f and the second one g. And it would be possible to go ahead and distribute all of these terms out and then perform the power rule on each of them individually, and we could still get the same answer. However, we're going to take the derivative of this function using the product rule. So a lot of the functions that we derive could be done in multiple ways, but we're going to use the product rule just because that's the section we're focusing on right now. So if we were to apply the product rule here, first we're going to do g times f prime. So we're going to denote our derivative, s prime of t, and then we're going to take g, which is t to the fourth, plus 2t plus 1, and we're going to multiply by f prime, which is going to be 6t plus 1. Alright, then we're going to add to it f, which we have as 3t squared plus a t. Then we're going to multiply by g prime, which is going to be a 4t cubed plus a 2. And that's by taking the power rule individually on each of those terms. The derivative of 1 is 0, of course, so we're not going to write that in. Alright, so there's our derivative. Now we're probably going to want to distribute these and combine like terms so we can get the derivative in a simpler form. So we'll write s prime of t is equal to, so we're going to take our 6t and let's just multiply it through to each of these. So we'll get a 6t to the 5th. 6 times 2 is 12, so we're going to get plus a 12t squared, then plus a 6t. Now we're going to multiply the 1 through, and so that would just be plus a t to the 4th, plus a 2t, plus a 1. Alright, now we move on to the other side. We'll do this 3t squared over first. So we'll get a 3t squared times a 4t cubed. So that's going to be all added to it, a 12t, and that's to the 5th. Then 3t squared times 2 is going to be plus a 6t squared. Then we do our t, multiply that through to both of those. So t times a 4t cubed, that's going to be a 4t to the 4th. Then t times 2 is going to be plus a 2t. Alright, so there we have it. Now we can combine our like terms. So we're first going to look for these powers of t to the 5th. So we have 2 of them. We can just combine those 2 together. So we'll get our s prime of t is going to be 18t to the 5th. Now we're done with those two, so I'm going to cross them out so we don't get confused. Now we're going to look at our t to the 4th. So we're going to have this one and that one. Those look like they're the only ones. So we have a t to the 4th plus 4t to the 4th. So that's plus a 5t to the 4th. We'll cross those two out since we're done with them. We're not canceling them, we're just combining them. See? So there's no t cubes in there. So now we look for the squareds. So we have a 12 and a 6 and a, not that one. We have a 12 and a 6. So there we go. That's going to be plus an 18t squared. Those two get canceled. Then we have this 2t at the end, this 2t in the middle, and this 6t. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's plus a 10t. And then what's left over after that? Just this one. And there is our full derivative of s of t using the product rule.